Hi, everyone. I'm Larry Rawson, and along with Michael Johnson, we're delighted you're with us for the 18th Grand Prix final coming to you from Paris, France. Well, just over $2.5 million will be paid out for today's competition to the athletes themselves by the time the meet has concluded. You just saw what Gail did in the race, and by her victory, she has put pressure on Marion Jones. Marion did something she has not done all summer. She flew back to North Carolina, tended to some business, slept, as she says, in her own bed, and is coming back to face a world-class field. And will a jet lag, Michael, affect her? Somebody we also have to talk about is the great, I say great, Felix Sanchez, who has a double victory at 400 meters in London, is trying it again.
He does, and he asked the IAAF for a schedule change to grant him the possibility of competing in the 400 meters and 400-meter hurdles. They granted that change. This double, though, is not as difficult mentally as it is physically. Physically, he will have an hour and a half between races. He had 2 hours when he was successful at this in London. But the big part of a double is the mental challenge that it provides. That's not going to be too difficult for him because he's a 400-meter hurdler. He's not a 400-meter runner. In the 400-meter hurdles today, he will be focusing on trying to win part of the overall jackpot. Once that's over, he has an hour and a half before he contests the 400 meters, where basically anything that he gets there will be a bonus.
Facing Felix Sanchez for the overall title and extra $100,000 will be the great Hicham El Guerrouj at 1,500 meters. He must run very fast, and based on scoring tables, he could win the title that way. He is currently coming into the meet tied with the great Felix Sanchez. The 2002 IAAF Grand Prix final is brought to you by New Balance, makers of performance footwear, and Marion Jones, who is trying to remain undefeated in 2002 and retain her title as the fastest woman in the world. But up next, Felix Sanchez, who will try and win the first of 2 races tonight. These victories, the 2 of them, will earn him a minimum of $100,000 if he's successful.
Thanks, Larry. Well, the biggest story here was supposed to be the announcement of the 2003 Golden League cities, with Oslo, Berlin, and Rome sitting on the edge of their seats because the word was there were only going to be 5 Golden League meets next year, and Stockholm and London, they wanted in. Well, at a press conference yesterday, they announced that there will be 6 Golden League meets next year. Monaco will move to the final meet of the season, and it will be called the New World Athletics Final. Oslo and Rome were given ultimatums regarding their stadiums. Rome was too big, and Oslo was too small. Now, the season will kick off in Oslo on June 27th, ending in Brussels on September 5th after the World Championships. And one other thing, the jackpot is now $1 million.
Well, Carol and Michael, it's too bad all of us didn't get raises like that from $500,000 to $1 million. Felix Sanchez has had a great year this year. He will benefit from all that success, but he's got to get through tonight. And he talked to us about how he was going to try and achieve that.
My focus this race will be to run consistent as far as the season's concerned. I think 47 seconds will win the race, whether I'm the one to stop the clock. Hopefully I am. As far as the 400, I think 44 seconds is gonna be the time to win that. So that's my focus, to try and double and go 47, 44, and if it's all possible, I'll be happy.
Felix Sanchez has been dominant this year. His winning streak stands at 15, but he has been challenged. James Carter, who you see right here, pushing him all the way to the finish. Carter not able to hold that lead from Felix Sanchez. Sanchez, coming back with the strength that he's developed over this year, was able to come through with the victory. And again, Stefan Diagana pushing Sanchez all the way to the finish again. He has had some close ones. Diagana, a lot more experienced than Sanchez, trying to show the youngster something, but he can't hold him off at the finish. Sanchez is very confident in his finish, but he knows that he's got some close races behind him. He wants to finish this season without another one of those.
And there you see the best performances this year. It is by Sanchez, and this should be a very interesting, challenging race for Felix Sanchez, who will be in lane 5. There you're looking at Diagana, the world champion. He's got world silver, gold, and bronze in 3 prior world championship appearances. And there you see Diagana, who will be in lane 3. That's what that hip says. Sanchez trying for a very fast time in this race. This is the important one, Michael, for him to win.
It is. He's got to run faster. He's got to run a fast time in order to beat out Hicham El Guerrouj for the overall title.
James Carter from the United States is in lane 4. In lanes 1 and 2, also Americans, both Olympians, Eric Thomas and Joey Woody.
Well, you know, it's interesting that Sanchez is in lane 5 because he likes to be behind his competition, and his main competition, Stefan Diagana and James Carter, are both on the inside of him in this race.
But out quickly, you're seeing it is Carter from the United States in lane 4, first over the hurdles, and he is actually ahead right now of Sanchez, and here comes Sanchez closing. What a race. Look at this with 100 meters to go. With a slight lead right now, that is Sanchez. Diagana, 2 lanes over to the left, but it is Diagana who's going to get second, and Sanchez is getting the victory. .61 of a second. Felix Sanchez continues his domination. Nice hunt from Diagana.
Well, Felix Sanchez knows that he can win, and he's proven that he can win from anywhere with 100 meters to go. And right here with 100 meters to go, he's just barely leading Stefan Diagana. But he's got so much strength, and his confidence has just grown. He's learned to hurdle with either leg, which gives him the ability to adjust, Larry, when he's not on his stride. He wasn't on his stride. His stride was giving him problems in London when he almost lost, but here he's adjusted and comes through with the victory.
You know, he has said, if I'm leading over the 10th hurdle, he said, no one in the world, I don't think, can catch me. And he has proven it all year long. No one has run him down from behind. He's had very close races, Michael, as you mentioned, but he holds on here, and that margin doesn't close from Diagana to the finish line. $50,000 for first place, 30 for second for Diagana in this race. And there you see James Carter winds up in 3rd place, running well. Let's get down to Carol Lewis.
Tight race there, but you still have the 400 meters coming up. How do you feel?
I feel good. I look forward to coming back. I got to get a little rest. Come back. It's a real short gap in between, but I think I'm ready.
Way to go. Thanks.
Based on his time that he ran, Hicham El Guerrouj needs to beat a time of 3 minutes 30 seconds plus. If he runs under that, he will have a better performance today than Sanchez does, and he will get the victory.